We're here with O'Dayne Ricahrds. O'Dayne, talk a little bit first about this season for you and what it has been like so far.
Yeah, this season so far has been really good. It's been steady progress so far. I've thrown 21-15 last Saturday, and I'm looking to go further.
What is your hope for this year and what do you want to achieve? I know it's a World Championship year, but in terms of your own development and distance.
Well, distance-wise, I've had this goal for a couple of years now. Is to throw 22 meters and over, and that is still the plan. In terms of development-wise, I want to be more consistent at higher distances, and to be a lot more competitive at the bigger meets.
In terms of shot put in Jamaica, we have a lot of shot putters, but not many are hitting the 21 mark or even the 20 mark consistently. What do you think contribute to that?
Well, I think it's a matter of time. We have a lot of athletes that are in the process, of making it to the 21 level. We see O'Dayne Ricahrds, who is a discus thrower who throws a shot, throwing 20.3, 20.4. We have Ashina Miller, who is on the verge, from what I heard, of throwing even 21 plus, and then we have the younger ones coming up, Nedrick, the Warren Barrett, the guys, Mitchell, the ones overseas. So I think it's a matter of time. I think we'll see, maybe in the next 5 or so years, we'll see a lot more competitive throws coming from Jamaica in the men's shot.
In Jamaica, we are more in tune to the 100 and the 200. In terms of the throws, the discus and the shot put, what would be your advice to not only the administrators or the coaches, but also to athletes who may be thinking, the only hope for me is in 100 or 200 or 400?
Well, I think we're all different. First, let me just address those who are coming up, the athletes. I think we're all different. We all have different talents, and I think if we spread our wings, we will find that we are a lot competitive in different events right across the board, not necessarily 100. Yes, still do the 100. Yes, still do the 200. Still do the blue ribbon events, but try something. Think outside the box. Try something. Try the 3000. Try the steeplechase. Try the pole vault. Non-traditional events. And you might find that you are the exception that will carry Jamaica's field events or distance or hurls or jumps to our next level. To the advice of the administration, I would say develop more throwing surfaces in the schools. It doesn't have to be a full chevron track. I would say maybe put a javelin runway. It's kind of essential to javelin throwers for them to start throwing further, and basically develop the throwing areas. Have multiple throwing areas at different schools or different places, not only the National Stadium, where it can be a little bit more interesting to marketers, and seek to develop the athletes themselves by giving them, maybe a stipend or even equipment or clothing, you know what I mean?
In terms of coaches, we have seen where Jamaica has more coaches, or more recognized coaches now in the throws than, say, 10 years ago. How much has that contributed to the throwers now in Jamaica getting closer to 20, 21 and even over?
Well, as with any event, I believe that the coaches first develop before you actually see the athlete, I don't think it's a case, well, maybe there's an exception to the rule where you have a super talented athlete and then the coach develops to nurture that talent. But usually in my head, I think that the coaches first develop. So the development you're seeing in the throwing events is as a result of the coaches, taking the throws a little bit further, doing more research, more studies, and developing themselves to get the desired results.
You would have been paying a lot of attention to the throws. not that you're not also into what is going on with the sprints and the quarter mile, for example. We have seen in the discus for women that we are having the national record now being moved. It was set by Kelly and Nib, for example, at Penn Relays, and then just this weekend, Sade Lawrence would have broken it. So these discus throwers now, they are consistent. Last year, for example, the three of them got 60 to qualify for the Olympic, but they are getting over 60 now, 61 and 62, and think Sade was 63 on the weekend. What do you think about the female discus throwers?
Well, female discus throwers has come a long way. Three of them, we had a maximum contingent of discus throwers. The maximum allowable at the Olympics was 3, and we filled all 3 spots with Tarasu, Kellyanne Nib, and Sade Lawrence. And I find that because they're so close in distances, it becomes a lot more competitive. Maybe they don't see each other to compete with every week, but in the back of their head, I'm sure they're thinking about each other, knowing that Kellyanne Nib has just thrown 61, now Sade has thrown 62, 59, I think. And I think Tarasu and the other girls, even Grange and other athletes that throw the disc as well, are looking to do even better.
Where do you see the shot put and the discus in another 5 years for Jamaicans? Because you mentioned Tarasu, Sade, and Kelly and Nib. Do you see us, say, in the discus, because you would have won a medal at the last World Championships? Where do you see the shot put and the discus for both men and women, say, in another 5 to 10 years?
Medal contention, that's an easy question. Medal contention. And another event that is developing is the men's javelin. It's quietly growing, and until we get that first big throw that shocks the world, then we'll start to shed some light on that. But in terms of all the throws, whether it be shot put female, because we now have Danielle, who is doing an excellent job. She is nearing, I think, top 10 or top 5 in the world now, throwing 18.4. And we have Grange throwing 17 on the weekend, and I think we have a lot more to come in terms of the throws, both in the male and female department of all throws.